our fourth take now.
Oh yeah, I think we got this.
Let's have some more wine. Oh, that's making it. Hey everybody, welcome back. Last time we had just splashed after spending an immense amount of money, an overt amount of money, too much money on repairs. Just reaffirming that we really have to do all our own work. Thankfully now we don't have a choice. We can't afford to pay anybody else.
Right.
We're going to St. Augustine, where there's a yard there that will let us live in the boat on the hard until such time as we take apart the entire inside and can't live in the boat on the hard. So we have to take a boat that has a broken keel and move it basically all the way up the east coast of Florida. The guy who gave us the appraisal for the fiberglass work, we asked him what he thought about us moving the boat. And he said he couldn't tell us what to do, but he said if it was him, he wouldn't heel the boat any more than he had to, which makes sense.
Sounds very reasonable.
Sounds very reasonable. And that he would make sure we went as smooth as possible. That means not offshore and not sailing. So we're motoring up the ICW. Our dinghy had been repaired. Y'all saw the video of it being sent off for repairs. It was...
Yeah, we got the dinghy back.
Yeah.
And it looks great. And it's holding air.
It's wonderful. So yeah, it looks near brand new, and we put the motor back on that and put the chaps on it. Got the dinghy painted and repaired. She's all pretty, and more importantly, she holds air. Follow up to the repair. On the front here, she took apart these seams. We had a big patch there, but they took apart these seams, replaced some fabric there. They took several of our patches off and properly redid the stuff. There was a couple of spots in here, right in there. Right there. That where it joined to the metal hull, it needed to be reinforced. And then she put some sealant goop on the inside, and then UV paint and sealant on the outside, so that the fabric's nice and reinforced. But we're still going to put our chaps on it. So let's do that.
We're going to be heading out to go to St. Augustine, which is where we're going to do the repairs to the keel. And today we're just doing some last minute things that we need to do to get ready to go. We have already topped off our fuel and our water and done some last minute provisioning that'll last us for the few days up the ICW and offshore while we're heading up to St. Augustine. We have to hoist our jib, and so that's what we're doing now.
All right. Alrighty. I'm gonna go back and crank it up slowly.
Okay.
All right, so we're going into our little slide all the way up our mast. Only go as fast as you want to tear it. That's not a real saying, but we usually say only go as fast as you want to crash when we're coming up to docks and whatnot. What she doesn't know is that she could run that line over to the electric winch and just be hitting a button. But sometimes you got to pay the dues, right? Okay, I think we've made her work hard enough. What do y'all think? All right, let's do this.
Are you gonna come over here and tell me to switch it to the electric winch?
I was gonna say, if you take off all the wraps but one, you can run it over the electric winch and push a button.
I'm trying to get an arm workout here.
Oh, okay, back to it then.
I haven't been doing my push-ups. This is my only exercise.
Okay, we tried. I guess she did know about the electric winch trick. Oh, hang on, hang on, hang on. That's really flapping around. Let's see if we can stop that briefly. You're almost there. Day one was going to be a motor from Fort Pierce all the way up the ICW to just short of the Pineda Causeway Bridge. We're going to take our little lapel mic. We're going to wrap it around an ear and hang it like that because I don't know of a good way to record the audio out of it.
Yeah, pull up the anchor.
Let's do this.
Pull up the anchor. Tell me where we're at and if I need to motor into it. Try and keep it slack. I don't want it tight.
Okay.
But I don't want to run over it either.
All right, it is to starboard now.
Okay. Is it slack or is it pretty tight?
It is, looks pretty tight.
Let's motor into it a little bit. How's that?
Okay, that is more slack.
All right, pull it up.
Okay, here we go. Pulling up.
Short skirt. Or not.
Okay.
I mean, you can go until it gets tight.
There we go. Okay, and it's getting slack again. Here she comes. Oh, she's got a lot of mud on her. Should I let her into it?
No. Let's get it up. All right. Hey, we're up. We're free. North Fort Pierce Bridge. This is SV Flow northbound. Waiting for your next open.
North Bridge, Captain, and Angel Link, behind your beam, your vessel.
45 foot, 14 foot beam, and the height is 63 and a half.
Take again the name of the vessel.
SV Flow, F-L-O-W, 45 foot Hunter, 14 foot beam, 63 and a half height. staying in the channel? I'm going to get on the dinghy.
So we had decided to tow the dinghy for the duration of the trip, just in case we needed it. But I had inadvertently left the outboard down, which means I'm going aboard underway to resolve that. On our first day, we actually got to the Pineda Causeway Bridge just before sunset. So we dropped anchor in a nice anchorage there, surprisingly exhausted.
We were just motoring up the ICW. We were not sailing. We were not exerting a lot of energy, but it's amazing how much it will take out of you over the day. And we were exhausted by the time we stopped and anchored up, and we were ready for bed.
Of course, we have to cook dinner, feed the dogs, take the dogs out on the bow and let them do the business after they have been fed, which means, since you need to give them digestion time, we have to, when we stop and anchor, then the first thing we do is feed the dogs so that they can be eating while we're cooking.
Oh yeah, doggies eat first. The doggies eat first. So we are headed up the ICW towards Cape Canaveral, which is where we're going to be staying the night so that we can hopefully watch the next launch. And we are headed towards the Pineda Causeway Bridge. So on our route there are several bridges. A lot of them are drawbridges, so they raise and lower when there's a demand. But this one is not. And although we are ICW compatible, this bridge seems to give people a lot of concern. So we want to make sure that we are hitting it at low tide. So we dropped anchor just this side of the bridge last night as it was starting to get dark. It was close to high tide and we didn't want to try to go through the bridge at that time, just in case there's an issue. So we hung out here, and it is low tide is going to be at 3:54 p.m. and we should be getting to the bridge about 3:50 p.m. So we are going through it at the best possible time to give us the most chance of success. So wish us luck.
Okay, we are coming up on the Pineda Causeway Bridge. Should be just fine. Misha's gonna try and keep us to the right. Because it looks like it's a little higher on that side up there than there. You can see on the board right there, it says over 64, and the slime line on the bottom of that bumper rail, that fourth bumper rail, is visible. So hopefully we won't have any problems. But If you read the reviews on Navionics, this bridge is troublesome for some. We are 63 and a half plus antennas. So here we go. Here we go. Oh man. Oh yeah, I think we got this easy. Oh well, the whip antenna's close, but I think we got it by like 6 inches. Yeah. You can see at the very top of our mast our little whip VHF antenna. Haha! We did it. I definitely would not have wanted to do that at mid-tide or high tide. We made the right choice by far.
Day 2, we left late because we wanted to make sure we got the lowest low tide. We went through a couple of bridges and it was sunset, so we anchored. Battery is good, oil pressure's good. And this was a miserable day. Thunderstorms all day long, rain all day long, cold rain all day long, heavy winds.
Are you going out for a shower?
I'm gonna, but it's cold.
So once we got into Daytona, thankfully the rains quit and we were able to anchor up and even got a really beautiful sunset, and it was really cool.
Yeah, actually that was really neat. Literally it rains all day long, and then we're like next to last bridge in Daytona before our anchorage, and the clouds part and there's the setting sun.
Yeah.
Day 4, wake up and there's actually crabbers. There's actually crabbers like right on the channel. I mean, I feel like they were inside the marker in some places.
We're on our 4th day of motoring up the ICW, and
Right? You don't get to eat out till we get to St. Augustine.
we're finally gonna stop and actually get dressed up and go to a restaurant, and I'm so excited about it. So we have been dealing with a little bit of weather. Yesterday we motored pretty much the whole day in the rain, and it got pretty stormy and a little bit blustery. But today we woke up and there was a great breeze and the sky is blue and the weather is perfect, and it just doesn't get any better than this. I guess we could have the sails up. That would be a little bit better, but I can't complain. I'm living a good life right now. I'm happy. She got windy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
This button.
That button.
Crescent Beach Bridge. Crescent Beach Bridge. This is northbound sailing vessel low. We're busting an opening.
Crescent Beach Bridge, Captain. We'll begin your opening and meet at the last mile marker. Standing by on 09.
Good copy. Thank you so much.
Misha's going to make her first drawbridge radio call. And right after I turn off the camera, the lady calls back. Oh, I'm only opening one span. Yeah, the east span is broken.
Flawless, my dear. Flawless.
Here we are. We did it. We did it. We made it to St. Augustine. This is something that I have been dreaming of doing for months. Coming into St. Augustine in our own boat and mooring up downtown. And tonight we get to do it. So St. Augustine is where we actually went to sailing school, and part of the course was learning how to catch a mooring ball, and we practiced on the mooring balls in front of Restaurant Row in St. Augustine. And so ever since we took that class, I've been wanting to bring our own boat up to St. Augustine, catch a mooring ball on Restaurant Row, and just be there on a mooring ball for a night.
Be one of the boats out there. That when you're sitting in the restaurants and you're looking out onto the water, there's all those boats out there. We sat in those restaurants before we had a boat. And we thought, one day, we'll be one of those boats.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. There she is.
Ready?
Woohoo, in St. Augustine. Ready.
Our friend with the fiberglass expertise was going to meet us at a restaurant in St. Augustine. So we got all dolled up.
All right, and we went to Meehan's.
Meehan's, yep.
Meehan's Irish pub.
Got in the dinghy. How was that ride?
That was a little rocky. That was a little bit rough. The waters were super choppy, and I'm not sure why.
It was a big blow coming in. But yeah, the water was rough in St. Augustine. Every other place on the ICW we stayed, flat, restful sleep, quiet. That place was rough. That was a rough night on the ball. So that's it for this one. Next week, we're back on the hard there in St. Augustine. And we start tearing apart the boat.
Thank you guys for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell and find us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at For Love of Wind. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye!
All right.
I can just make it jiggle.